Yeah, so that experience of installing that project gave me that exposure. And so how I landed to my next job was, like I mentioned, um, that company was looking for somebody with that skill set that I gained where I was in attachment. So, and they liked, because I've been there before, and they liked my personality and my kind of work that I was doing for them. And so it was easy for me to get a job there. Now, you can notice from the time that I finished school, I did not tarmac even a single day. Yeah, it was from one opportunity
To another.
to another to another. So this other company, when I went in, it wasn't like an advertised position. This was like head hunting. They came in and said, we want this guy to come and work for us. Yeah. So I went in there, I got my first job, and that's how I started working. In that company, I worked for 9 years. Yeah, of course, not doing the same thing, growing through.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one thing I want to mention.
So your first job, you stayed 9 years. The first place you got a job after after college, you stayed for 9 years.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And I'll mention something about that. But what I want to mention here is that someone would say I was lucky, yeah. But for me, I don't want to say that I was lucky. One thing that these are some of the things that happened behind the scene. When I was in college, I used to serve in church. Yeah, and I remember that time I joined the JCC Jubilee Christian Church in the year 20. I think I was in first year or second year. Yeah, and I put in my service there. And one of the things I used to tell myself is that I'm putting in my time and my service, serving God. This is my internal conversation with God, and say, at the time I finished school, I don't want to tarmac, God opened the door for me. So I was faithful in serving in the things of God. Yeah? And because of that, God gave me favor when I finished school, because I was faithful in his service. He made it easier for me in the marketplace.
Wow.
Yeah. So these are things that you could find maybe they're not being spoken out. Someone would say, jamaa uko na bahati sana.
Lakini ni Mungu.
Because most of my colleagues would ask me, how was it possible?
Yeah, that was my next question. How was it possible you're able to stay at the first job for 9 years?
Not even how was it possible for you to get job immediately? Even the results are not out. Remember I told you, nobody asked me for my results. You don't have papers. Do you have someone you know somewhere?
Connections. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have those connections? But the answer is no. Yeah.
It is favor.
It is favor. And if you flow and you serve God, there are benefits. Yeah. These are some of the things that probably the young people are not being taught or are not being exposed to. And serving God could be in different dimensions. You could be serving in the local church. You could be serving someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because probably the platform God has given you is to serve someone. Yeah. If you do it faithfully as unto the Lord, yeah, in your time of doors to open, the right doors will open.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so that's what I would want to live with the young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not always about what's in it for me. Yeah. Because we're in a time that people are always, what's in it for me? What's
For
in it
me.
for me?
Yeah.
Nitapata nini? What will I get? Serve me. Yeah. If there's someone who's, for example, like a video shoot like this one, yeah. If the guy is not paying you, but serving.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's giving you a platform. And if you do it faithfully, yeah, in your day of launching your own, you'll get clients that will be sweatless.
Yeah.
Those are some of the secrets of advancement. And they give you a way ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this other job, I grew through, starting off from being a simple technician, growing into engineer level, into management. Yeah. So by the time I was leaving at mid-management level.
Mid-management level. Time you're leaving.
Yeah. And so there are many things I learned through that. And so, yeah.
I want to expound on those 9 years, but I want to pick out something that he said. Personality. There's something that the reason why they kept you is because of personality. And some of the reason that why people are losing jobs are the mistakes that they're doing at the workplaces when they start to work. And something that helped you stay for 9 years at your workstation was the personality that you had, and yes, serving God. And I like that we have a similar story. So I want to know, is there any mistake that you made at your first job that if you could go back right now, you wouldn't make that mistake? Or if so, not you, did you see somebody that you started with but left you there and did a mistake that you learned from?
I would say I have learned through mistakes, but not my mistakes. Other people's mistakes. And to some could be mistakes, to some could not be mistakes. Where we have people who are impatient. Yeah.
Impatient with?
Impatient with the process of time.
Uh-huh.
You see, today you got your first opportunity. Could be a job or could be a business that you're running. But because it's not bringing in returns as fast as you project, you want to do something else that will bring more money.
Thank you.
So you're driven by money. You're driven by the return on monetary return. Yeah. But as you're growing, remember, there's the different phases in life. There is the phase of learning. The phase of learning, you might really not earn a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But devote yourself to learning.
To learning. Thank you.
Yeah. So the thing that I saw with some of my colleagues and friends is that you want to pursue money and you have not learned. So your foundation is weak. Yeah.
You want to pursue money,
yes,
and you haven't learned.
So you're going for quote unquote greener pastures,
but you haven't learned.
You haven't learned, or you jump into something that is not solid. Right? So in the long run, you find yourself, whatever you're pursuing was not as pretty as you thought it was. Yeah? You've not taken time to develop yourself. Yeah? I will tell you, when my first job, I started off at 15,000 bob. That wasn't much. It wasn't much. But I can tell you, by the time I was leaving, I was not earning 15,000 bob. Yeah? I have grown through. It has not been like instant, it has been gradual. So the gradual growth is what many people are not patient to go through. And that's what I'm saying about patience. And so the mistakes I've seen people do is now you want to have like instant success. Yeah? Allow yourself to learn. And as you're learning, you grow. And when you're growing in all spheres. In your skills and also in your value. And if your value is growing, also your returns will grow.
Wow. So the message you're putting through is, guys, trust the process. Trust the process. Yes. Now, 9 years. 9 years is a lot. And I know you've learned a lot from those 9 years that we can't expound in this interview. But the greatest lesson that you've learned in those 9 years, the greatest lesson that you've learned in your career in those 9 years that you can share to anybody who is starting out, want to be in a position that you are in right now?
Well, there are many things that we have learned, that I have learned, that one thing is being a faithful steward. Being a faithful steward. Because in my life, I've been in the employment line. Some people are in the business, some people are in other things. But mine has been in employment. And you find you are entrusted with some resources that you need to account for. Yeah? And for you to grow and for you to advance, you need to be a faithful steward of what is entrusted upon you. Yeah? You find people misusing the resources provided.
That you're giving,
yeah? for their own quick gains. So you cut corners so that you can go faster. Yeah, and those things eventually come back to bite you. So you might gain, and then the loss you suffer takes you back 7 years
Back.
of life, which you could have taken through the process and you still get there. Yeah. So that is one thing that I can say that has kept me focused. Yeah. And always knowing that you're somewhere for a certain reason and season.
You're somewhere for certain reason and season.
And when the season comes, when the season comes to an end, you will know within yourself that my time here is over.
It's over.
Let me move on.
Yeah.
But for
But that I think is a difficult. Let me ask you a question. How do you know it's your season to actually move to greener pastures or to go to the next thing?
If you walk with God, there's a way that you'll have a witness within your inner man that my season to go to the next level is ripe. Yeah. This is not something that I can give you a straight answer, because we are all different in how we respond to our gut feeling. And always ask yourself, is this gut feeling driven by my selfish need? Because again, you can audit yourself. I can say my season is ready, but because I'm looking for money. This money is not enough. So within your self, you'll do an audit. What is your motivation for saying the season is over? Yeah, you can find probably there's a new opportunity that has come, and you have all that it takes to meet that. You go for it. I remember while I was still working in that company for 9 years, there's some opportunities I turned down. Yeah, was it a good decision? I don't know, because I don't know what I would have gained or lost if I had taken them. Yeah, but I always trust myself that if I walk with God, I'm in the right place at the right time. Yeah.
Wow. So now, after 9 years, you would leave the job to go to the next. How did that go? Were you poached, or did you get another opportunity? How did that go?
So again, it's about networking. One of my former colleagues, there was an opportunity where they were working and they needed someone to come in and assist them with IT stuff, and so I was fronted, gave me an opportunity which I found to be favorable, and that's how I moved. Yeah, so I've been now there for 6 years, and through the process, I've grown from networking to cybersecurity, and right now I'm running governance. Those are some of the things around IT that I focus on.
When was this, if I may ask? When you got into mode?
That's in 2014.
2014, okay.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. So now I just want you to just explain shortly about where you work at now. Maybe any experience that you want to share to anybody who is starting out. Is there a job opportunity there where you're working at? Anything just you can say about where you're working at now, and then just summarize with the experience that you've had. What can you say about the experience?
So IT is dynamic. Yeah. So in IT, we're looking at hardware IT. We're dealing with computers and servers and stuff like that. Also, we do have software where you have development of software and coding, and also we have telecommunication, which is part of IT now. Yeah. All that now is bundled up together. So depending on your interests and your giftings, you can incline to whichever. So like now, if you want to be the guy to fix computers or fix servers, there is a space for that. Yeah. And if they want to do development, like now in mode, it's more of a software company where the major part of the IT is software development. So there are places you can learn coding and different developing techniques. Yeah, that's not my strength, but now for me, I support now the backend because code has to run somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the systems that run the code is what now for me is my strength. And now also talking about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is now, you look at where the world is going to, we are going to a space where everything is IT based.
IT based, digital.
Yeah? You've heard of Internet of Things,
Mm-hmm.
where even your fridge is IT, your TV is IT, your car has IT stuff in it. So security becomes a key concern. Yeah, because if everything is IT, we have people who want to access those systems for whatever reason.
Malicious in any ways, yeah.
Yeah, and so you have to secure yourself the same way people have.
So that is something you offer, cybersecurity. Anything to do with IT, you have a computer, you have a TV, personal information that you want to secure.
Yeah.
Mode does. Sorry, what does mode mean?
Not really. Mode doesn't offer cybersecurity solutions. The other companies that deal with that. So for us, for Mode, we provide value-added services like airtime credit services. So what the company does is the products within Mode is whereby if you run out of airtime, you can borrow airtime quickly, and then you pay later. So we are providing that platform to the mobile operators. So that's the core business right now, and also we are growing into other products as well. Yeah.
I'm sorry to ask this so late, but what does mode mean? Is just mode, or is it an abbreviation that has words?
Mode, it's a acronym for mobile decisioning.
Yeah. Okay.
So the decisioning part is how do we decide who do we lend or who do we not lend to. Yeah, but that's the core business that we provide. So the back end is IT, code, and that's what we do. So in terms of security, the opportunities around security in the IT field is the dynamic, and especially if you want to grow into IT, the areas to focus on is mainly because this is where technology is going, building on data, because everybody is out after data. Yeah, platforms are looking for data from users, so becoming like things like data analysts. Yeah, and then software developers.
Data analyst, guys, I hope you're listening. Data analyst.
Software developers. And also now cybersecurity experts. Yeah. Okay. Those are the big things that are happening in IT.
So there are a lot of things that are under IT. So if you go and study IT in campus, there are a lot of things that you can actually do under IT where you can specify.
I don't mean to say that these others are dead. No, because network is still there and will always be there. Yeah, physical servers. You see what you hear cloud. Things are in the cloud. Cloud is not
the cloud
you're seeing there. These are physical servers somewhere owned by somebody. It's only that you don't own them. Yeah. So there's also the part of you can also be your own cloud provider. It's only that it's a bit capital intensive.
Yeah.
But you can put together your servers and say, I am leasing out space for guys in production. So if you're shooting your videos, I can be storing this stuff for you, and you pay me for that. So you're a cloud provider. Yeah. So that's what cloud means. So that space is still there. Yeah. And also things to do with infrastructure. How do you get information from point A to point B? That is still there, because you find one of the growing businesses today in Kenya is the mobile internet. So telecommunications firms are making sure that their transmission is robust, yeah, because that's a growing business. So those are some of the things that are still in place. So if someone is interested in IT, it's good to know what is it that you're interested in. It will be unfair for you to say I want to be a developer, yet you and code are maji na mafuta. Yeah. You can be in IT, but your specialization is in fixing hardware stuff, which is fine. So it's important for you to know, and if you're still not clear, it's good to get guidance. Yeah. Working for someone can give you a clear picture of exactly what is it that you can do. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much for that. And what a wonderful story that you have given us this day. So just as we finish, maybe just say a few words of inspiration to anybody who wants to be in a position that you are right now, who is maybe stuck, want to be an IT expert, doesn't get a job. What advice would you give such a person who is watching us right now?
Yeah, so what I can say is just being, first of all, understand yourself. Yeah, not trying to do everything at the same time. Yeah, there's always that learning phase. In the learning phase, try and discover what is it that is of interest to you. Yeah, and then you have this one thing that I'm passionate about, and then now you move into specialization.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you find that your strength is you want to do things around development, specialize on that. Leave the rest. You can know a little bit about the rest, but know much about what is of interest to you.
Mm.
Yeah, and then now develop it. Yeah, this one thing that you focus on is what will do it for you. Trying to do many things at the same time might cause you to lose focus, and you'll be a jack of all trades but a master of none.
Jack of all trade, master of none. Any last words for us as we finish tukimalizia? And thank you so much, by the way, for the honor, for coming through to the interview. I really, really do appreciate. So any last words for us as we finish?
I really appreciate this platform, and for you, like I said, this one thing you have done, yeah, focusing on sharing this information, and I hope the information was beneficial. And if you need to know much more, you can always reach out.
Yeah.
And we can help where we can.
Yeah. Is any contacts for Maud if they want to reach out to you to ask for more questions or anything?
I will share the details in your link.
Thank you very much. Well, there you have it. Wisdom and knowledge in the IT sector. You can't find this anywhere else. If there's something that you think we have left out, any IT related questions, I think you can just comment it down below in the comment section, and Nick will be able to answer to all of your IT questions. This is just to remind you that this program is brought to you in partnership with Frame Studios Production. Till next time, be good, do good, and always look good.